Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, January 18th. A lot to talk about this morning. We have the potential for a major snowstorm at the end of the week in the Friday to Saturday time period. Earlier last week, some areas in the I-95 corridor received their first snowflakes of the season as some snow showers broke out ahead of an Arctic frontal passage. Yesterday, other areas received their first snow of the season that produced anywhere from a dusting in some of the big cities to as much as 2 or 3 inches near the New Jersey coastline. Atlantic City Airport, for example, came in with 2.8 inches of snow, their first snow of the season. You get the feeling that Old Man Winter has changed the momentum here and is saying, I am here. And indeed, Old Man Winter can return with a full force by the end of this week, with the potential again for a major snowstorm in the Friday to Saturday time period. Well, for the last several days we've talked about the overall pattern change to that of high latitude blocking up north, meaning higher pressure compared to normal across places like Greenland and Canada. That provides some cold air outbreaks into the northeastern part of the country, and there is an active southern branch of the jet stream. This has been enhanced by the El Nino, the warmer than normal sea surface temperatures in the tropical Pacific. This is the current look at the 500 millibar height anomaly chart. Indeed, very strong high pressure here shown by the orange and red and even purple up across Greenland and northern Canada. A very cold Arctic outbreak reached the Midwest over the weekend and moved into the eastern states in the overnight hours behind another Arctic frontal passage. Today and tomorrow will be some of the coldest air we've seen all season. Temperatures this afternoon confined to the 20s. A very active southern branch of the jet stream. There were 2 different coastal storms in the past few days. Friday night into early Saturday was too warm for any snow, but it produced some rainfall up and down the I-95 corridor. And then yesterday into early last night, there was another coastal storm system that produced some moderate snowfall, again from the I-95 corridor area all the way to the Jersey coastline, where some 2 to 3 inches of snow fell. This is the key pattern for later in the week, again with the high latitude blocking way up across Canada and Greenland and a very active southern branch of the jet stream. Well, let's now jump ahead to Thursday morning. This is from last night's 0Z GFS model run. Again, we're looking at the 500 millibar height anomalies. Here is a low pressure area in the upper part of the atmosphere depicted here by last night's GFS, cutting across the southern plains come Thursday morning. Notice the strong orange here, the strong ridging out along the near the west coast, and a deep trough out across the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean just south of Alaska. Deep trough, ridging here, a trough here, kind of a good setup here for late in the week, the potential for a big storm along the east coast. Let's now jump ahead. This is, again, the 84-hour forecast map. Let's now go out to Friday morning, and here's that bowling ball in the upper part of the atmosphere headed towards the east coast. Low pressure should move out of the south central states towards the mid-Atlantic region during the day on Friday, and that coastal storm will intensify Friday night into Saturday. Again, a lot of high pressure up to the north helping to supply some of the cold air. Let's now jump ahead another bit here. This is the Friday night forecast map. Notice the orange is kind of wrapping around here from southeastern Canada all the way across to the northern plains and then into the central plains with a very vigorous looking upper level trough. This is the high pressure that we often refer to as kind of a banana shaped high, kind of a necessary ingredient for snowstorms in the mid-Atlantic region. As a storm pushes towards the coastal region, you need that anchor of cold high pressure up to the north to supply some of the cold air necessary for a snowstorm in the mid-Atlantic region. Well, let's now walk through some surface maps from last night's 0Z GFS model run. All these maps, by the way, available on tropicaltidbits.com. This is the forecast for Wednesday morning. Wanted to point this out because there is a light snow event that is likely in the I-95 corridor Wednesday night. Nothing compared to what is expected in the Friday-Saturday time period. But again, light snow here come Wednesday morning. Let's just kind of walk through this. That light snow tends to dissipate by the time it reaches the I-95 corridor. This is in the middle of the night, Wednesday night into Thursday morning. But again, I think there could be a period of light snow around here Wednesday night. Now let's move ahead into the late week time period. And here you go by Friday morning. High pressure to the north and southeastern Canada. Another high across the northern plains. Again, your banana-shaped high pressures providing the cold air, and not only providing the cold air, but locking in the cold air. That's a necessary requirement. Strong low pressure in the south central U.S. come Friday morning. Snow's just breaking out west and southwest of D.C. Let's keep moving forward here. Here is the forecast map for the early afternoon snow moving into the D.C. metro region. All of this from last night's 0Z GFS model run. Strong high pressure anchored to the north and northwest. Let's now jump ahead. Here's the Friday evening forecast map. And then the middle of the night, Friday night, that storm pushes towards the Carolina coastline. Some heavy snow breaking out in the I-95 corridor and to the points north and west. And here's the forecast map for Saturday morning. Heavy snow at this time up across the I-95 corridor. Now, in southern New Jersey, across the Delmarva Peninsula, it certainly is not out of the question that rain falls in part of this storm. That is one of the details yet to be ironed out over the next few days. We'll focus in on that rain-snow line. Notice here that the low at this point just off the Virginia coastline, GFS kind of backs it in a little bit right over the Chesapeake Bay area, and indeed that could cause some rainfall in at least the coastal regions from southern New Jersey across the Delmarva Peninsula. Heavy snow back inland. Then the storm pushes off to the east here. This is Saturday night, and all of the models are pretty much converging on a fairly similar solution here with wraparound snows, a kind of a classic signature for a big snowstorm in the northeastern part of the country with that conveyor belt snowfall on the backside of the storm. And this would be late Saturday into Saturday night, perhaps even lingering into Sunday morning. Well, one of the reasons why there is fairly high confidence right now over a major event here in the Friday-Saturday time period is that pretty much all the computer forecast models have something significant in that time period. This is actually the GFS parallel. Previously we were looking at the current operational GFS. This is a parallel version that has some differences to it. It'll ultimately become the operational version. This is the forecast map for Friday night. Major storm system over the Carolinas. And then let's now jump ahead to the Saturday morning. And here's the Saturday morning forecast map, again from the GFS parallel model. Low pressure over southeastern Virginia, a little bit to the west of the operational version. So again, this produces the possibility of some rain across southern New Jersey, across the Delmarva Peninsula. Heavy snow further inland to the west of the I-95 corridor. So again, some of the details to be ironed out exactly where that rain-snow line sets up. But again, from I-95 to the north and west, it looks like the potential for a major snow event. Well, one final model we'll take a look at here. These maps are from WSI Incorporated. This is of the European model, and this is for the Friday morning forecast time period. Low pressure way down south across southern Georgia here. This is a Friday afternoon and Friday evening. Notice here that low a little farther to the south and east of the GFS parallel version here across the southeastern part of North Carolina. All snow at this time in the I-95 corridor. By Friday evening, that low intensifies off the Virginia-North Carolina border. And finally, by Saturday morning, a major storm sitting here off the Mid-Atlantic coastline. All snow, according to the European model here, in the I-95 corridor. And then if you jump out a little farther ahead again, notice this nice wraparound band here in the conveyor belt to the west and northwest of the surface low pressure area sitting here off the Mid-Atlantic coastline. This is a signal of a major snowstorm in the I-95 corridor. So again, some confirmation from other models here. The potential exists for a major snowstorm in the I-95 corridor and points north and west in the Friday to Saturday time period. Still several days away, so a lot of details will be ironed out. Again, one of the main things we'll focus in on is that rain-snow line, as there certainly can be some rain involved here in the coastal regions from southern New Jersey across the Delmarva Peninsula into the southeastern part of Virginia. So stay tuned for updates over the next few days here at VencoreWeather.com. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.